The moment the date changed in Japan, when most of the country was asleep and the streets were quiet, the baseball world exploded without warning. Phones lit up. Group chats came alive. Reporters froze mid-scroll, rereading the same words again and again, wondering if they had misunderstood something. Because this wasn't supposed to happen like this. At exactly that quiet hour, when a new day had barely begun, one piece of news tore through Japanese baseball like a lightning strike. It's not what we expected. That single sentence echoed everywhere, from clubhouses to living rooms, from former players to lifelong fans. And yet, just beneath the shock, another voice rose just as clearly. I still believe he can hit. That belief, fragile, defiant, stubborn, refused to disappear. This is not just a story about a roster move, a decision, or a name on paper. This is a story about faith colliding with reality at the most uncomfortable moment possible. Because timing matters in baseball. And this timing felt cruel. As the calendar flipped, people expected silence. Instead, they got uncertainty. Some called it bold, others called it reckless, a few called it inevitable. But no one called it boring. In clubhouses across the league, players checked their phones before bed and sat up straight. Veterans sighed. Young players smiled nervously. This news changed conversations. It changed expectations. It changed pressure. The player at the center of it all didn't say much. He never does. That silence only made the noise louder. Analysts rushed to break it down: mechanics, numbers, splits, trends. They talked about timing being off, confidence shaken, opportunities slipping away. They talked about decline. But baseball has never been kind to certainty. For every chart pointing downward, there was a memory of a clutch hit, a late swing, a moment when belief beat probability. That's why opinions split instantly. This wasn't the plan, some said. We still trust the bat, others answered. In Japan, baseball isn't just measured in stats, it's measured in trust. And trust doesn't disappear overnight. Still, the shock was real. Because expectations had been carefully built over time. Fans had imagined a different future, a cleaner story, a smoother arc. Instead, they got a sharp turn in the dark. The kind that makes you grip the seat and wonder what comes next. Former players spoke cautiously. They understood how thin the line is between doubt and confidence. One swing can change everything, one of them said quietly. Managers avoided dramatic language, but their eyes told the truth. This decision carried risk. And risk is terrifying when the spotlight is unforgiving. Social media didn't wait for daylight. Debates raged before sunrise. Some felt betrayed by the decision. Others felt relieved. A few felt hopeful in spite of everything. Because hope in baseball is irrational by nature. It survives slumps. It survives injuries. It survives logic. The phrase, I believe he can hit, spread like a quiet rebellion against the numbers. It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. But it was stubborn. Behind the scenes, teammates reacted differently. Some offered encouragement. Some watched silently, unsure what to say. Everyone understood one thing: the margin for error was gone. From this point forward, every at-bat would be a verdict. Every swing would be judged not just for contact, but for meaning. This wasn't about mechanics anymore. It was about belief under pressure. About whether faith could survive reality. As dawn approached in Japan, the initial shock softened into reflection. Maybe this wasn't a mistake. Maybe this was a test. Baseball has a cruel way of revealing truth when no one is ready for it. And sometimes, the most uncomfortable decisions are the ones that expose who you really are, player, team, and fan alike. The player at the center of the storm arrived at the ballpark later that day like always. No drama, no statements, just work, bat in hand, eyes forward, because in the end, belief doesn't live in headlines. It lives in the batter's box. And when the next pitch comes, none of the predictions will matter. Only the swing will. Whether this moment becomes a regret or a redemption is still unknown. But one thing is already certain. Japanese baseball was reminded of something timeless that night, just after the date changed. Expectations can be wrong, doubt can be loud, but belief only needs one hit to be right.